Alright, so the first construction is copying a segment. So the first step to copying a segment, you draw a ray going in one direction. You put a dot at one endpoint. And then you have to align your compass to the same length of the segment that you are copying. So with this compass, I'm going to put the little metal end here, and I need to find which hole matches up with it. So notice it says inside one here. In the center of this one's at the metal ring. Find which hole the other one goes to. Now I'm going to move the metal ring to the dot that I put on the line, and then I'm just going to turn here, and then that is copying the segment. The second construction type that we are going to have to do is segment addition. So with segment addition, we need to end up doing the same exact thing. So first step, draw a ray, put a dot at the end. Now on this one, we know this segment's going to be called RS, so we're going to put an R next to this point. Right? So RS is GH plus JK. So I'm going to find the length of GH. So again, the metal ring to the middle of G, and I need to figure out which hole matches up with H. On this side, it's in the middle, so I'm going to go to the other side, and right there next to the C, if you notice, matches up very close. So moving the metal ring back to where R is at, I'm going to go to the C on this compass, and I'm going to just mark there. So this mark here shows me that that is the length of GH. Now the next part of this is I need to figure out and add in JK. So I'm going to do the same thing with JK, put the metal ring here, find out which hole matches up with K, which I already did pretty straight off of here. This one here. Right? So now, since I'm adding this, I'm going to continue on the same direction. So I'm going to put this middle spot here, and then holding this, put the pen or pencil in the spot that matches up with that. And since this is all the two that I need to add to it, this is the other endpoint S. Alright, so moving on to the next type of construction, we are going to do segment subtraction. So segment subtraction is basically the same thing as segment addition, except instead of building upon it, you are going to subtract it. So for this example, I'm going to do the one at the bottom that says create segment MN, so that EF plus GH, or so that it's EF plus GH minus JK. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a straight line. Put a dot at the end. We're starting off MN, so this is going to be point M. Alright, so we need EF. So if I'm going to go here, I'm going to go to E for the middle one. Now on this type of compass, it's located on the inner ring, so I need to figure out which hole on the inner ring matches up close enough to this. It's the very one on the far outside of the inner ring. Okay, so if you notice, I'm going to do that. So if I have to use any of these ones on the inner ring, what I end up having to do is, instead of holding the circle when I'm doing this turn, I'm going to hold on the blue section, and I'm going to rotate just the circle on the inside. So now this length here that I just did is the length of EF. I need to now add in GH, so since I'm again adding like I did on the last one, I'm going to find GH, so metal ring. G matches up with this point here. Go to where they intersected, and then just copy towards the right. Alright, so now that adds in GH, but now I got to take away JK. So if I'm taking away, I'm going to make this part shorter. So I'm actually, instead of going to the right more, I'm going to go to the left with JK. So I need to actually, again, find the measure of JK. So J here, K is this point here. And we've already matched this once, we're just going to do it again. Right, so now I'm going to put the metal ring at the spot that we intersected, but I'm going to turn my compass around and using that same mark that I had done for JK, mark in this direction. Now, since this is the last of the 3 segments I'm adding, this is the end point, so I'm going to put a dot. And we want it to be M in, so this is in. And then that's basically how we do the segment subtraction. Again, if you're adding, you move to the right. Subtracting, you take away and go to the left. All right, so for the next construction, we're doing a perpendicular bisector. So with this one, we don't have any set length that we have to measure, but we want to end up doing this so that when we do have a measurement on this, we're going to have it more than half, because we want this to be able to mark the middle section of this, so we have to go at least past the halfway mark. So I'm going to put my compass one end on G, and I'm just going to find something that is more than half of the way. So any of these ones on the outside actually work, does not matter which one I pick. I'm going to use this dot here. So on this dot, I'm going to go below the picture and make a mark. Make it so it's at least probably around in the middle area, and then I'm going to move it back up using that same dot and make a mark above. So notice from G I made the line below and a line above. Now again, I'm going to remember that point that I used. I'm going to go to T, and now I'm going to make the mark from this side, and you'll notice that they cross, making like a little X symbol. Right? So where these two cross, these are technically points. So we're going to connect those 2 points with a straight line. So we're just going to use the side of the compass, go straight through it, and there is our perpendicular bisector. And that's what we need for this problem. Okay, the next construction is the same type, but instead of having the endpoints, we have to create endpoints. So on this one, we're going to put the center here at T, and I want to find something that would stay on this line. So I'm going to end up having to use one of the little circles on the inside. I'm just going to pick this one. Does not matter which one I use. I'm going to make a mark to the right. I'm going to move that to the left side and make a mark as well. So now, because I use the same mark, or the same hole, T has to be directly in the middle of it. So we know that's going to be in the middle, which if we're doing a bisector would cut this line in half. What we're going to do here, we're going to go and then put the metal in at one section, and again go somewhere past T. So I'm just going to use this part because it's past T. And since we already have a point that we're going to use, we just need to go above and make a line, keep the same mark, go to the other side